Diego Maradona or Lionel Messi? Whose number 10 are you wearing?
I think the beauty of Messi and Maradona is they're so alike in so many ways, but they're so different in all the ways that are so poignant. And I think that is why you fall in love with both of them. I love them both. I guess I'll just have the number 9. I'll take Batigol.
Diana, welcome to the Latino Excellence Podcast. It is such an honor. I've spent my entire career covering Major League Baseball, been with some of the greatest ball players in baseball history, but to be here with you, who I made the case when you retired, I consider you the greatest Latina athlete of all time. I'm from Linwood, California. You're from California. And I know you know the old Linwood in the 89, 90, when Lisa Leslie was competing against us, Morningside versus Linwood. Big, huge women's basketball, girls basketball fan, and a father of 3 daughters. So thank you. When I was offered this chance to interview you, I wanted to ask, first and foremost, what does it mean to you to have achieved so much and to represent women's basketball, but also to represent Latinos, and for people who don't know, like your Argentine roots, Italian roots, but what does that mean? What does the Argentine culture mean to you?
Oh, well, I mean, it's huge. I always tell the story that, yeah, I grew up in the US, but I lived in Argentina for 99% of my life. The minute you walk through those doors, it was, Argentinian food, Argentinian music, our family. My parents, they came here in 79 with nothing and didn't know the language. So our families was everything we knew, and all their friends that migrated over from Argentina too. And, it's been an amazing journey to be able to be here in the US and represent, the Latinos everywhere, not only here in the US, but in Argentina, in South America, in Mexico. I feel like, we're underrepresented in so many ways. And I was always wanted to make sure that I led with the basketball, but I always had my heritage right behind me.
We want to talk about your eczema battle. Let's talk a little bit about that and tell me about that battle and what that means to you.
Yeah, I got this great opportunity to partner with Sanofi and Regeneron with Dupilumab, and eczema is something that affects millions of Americans, every single day, and it was something that to me was one of these inner battles that people don't get to see when you're on the court, or you're playing in these high stake games on national TV. Meanwhile, I'm having these little battles every single day with eczema, and it was something I just couldn't get under control. And especially playing sports where you're always in the public eye, and especially playing basketball when your arms are always exposed. I met with my dermatologist, and there was an opportunity to start Dupixent, which is really changed the trajectory of how I live every single day with less itch, less redness, just making life just so much more comfortable with someone who has moderate to severe eczema. Just always being aware of how your skin feels, how it looks, how is the weather, the water, the conditions of just life, where you go on family vacations, how it just affects your psyche and your everyday routine, and it's just made life better for me. I don't think about certain activities with my family that I used to not even participate in. Like when we go on vacation, the last thing I want to do is get in a pool. That was just like instant flare-ups. And, it might sound silly, but now like I get to enjoy my vacations. I get to go in the pool and enjoy it with my kids. And, all those things have made a world of difference in my life. And, it's different for everyone, but I've had a great experience.
And I know this is difficult for you because a lot of the people I interview are like Gabriela Hawkins at UCLA, or Maya Perez, the All-American softball player, kids who are still building their brand. This is going to be more difficult for you. If you were at a dinner table and you couldn't tell people you're the greatest, the GOAT, you couldn't tell them you played basketball, what should people know about Diana Taurasi?
That I am obsessed with hard work. I'm obsessed with the daily routine of the thing that I love to do the most, and that was play basketball at the time. I wasn't really interested in anything else but the process. I enjoyed it. I played it because I loved it. And it was something that made me a better person in the long run. All those habits that I learned along the way, I can take with me forever. And, I got to meet amazing people. I got to travel the world. Um, and at the end of the day, to me, it's about, family and the people closest to you.
Nobody has won more gold medals.
Mm.
No woman has won more gold medals than you. It's team sports. What does that mean to you? I see your background, and that is so impressive. But what are those gold medals? Which is your favorite gold medal memory?
The gold medal journey it's amazing. Now that I could get to reflect on it a little bit and look back, I started in '04 and ended in 2024, like 20 years of my Olympic experience with the USA jersey on, which to me symbolizes so many things for our family, an immigrant family that came here with nothing, and to have that journey, to have that opportunity is, in a lot of ways what the US is to a lot of people that come here. And I got to enjoy the ride. When I got there as in 2004, that was my first one. I was a young kid that just got out of college, and it was such a great opportunity to play with Lisa Leslie, Tina Thompson, Cheryl Swoops, Don Staley. I mean, these are just, Mount Rushmore type players, and I watched them and I learned from them and I got to be around them. And then as my career progressed with USA Basketball, I became one of those players that, they counted on to show up every single training camp, to every single World Championship, to every single Olympics, and I took that responsibility really greatly, and that's why I played for so long.
Diana, what has been the biggest influence for you in your life?
Mhm. I've had a lot. I'm a type of person that likes to sit back and really analyze and watch people that I admire. I admire my parents growing up, just their diligence of getting up every single day and going to work. My mom making sure that the essence of being a family was there every single day. And I had some amazing friends. I had some amazing friends that I would always look up to, that would motivate me, that would inspire me. And then I got to college, and Coach Rama just completely changed the way that I thought about basketball. He showed me really how the path to being a great teammate, a great basketball player, the habits you have to build to become the best if that's what you want.
What are your goals in retirement now? Like you're
Yeah.
not playing. You spent 20 plus years, and your whole life playing basketball. What are your goals now in retirement?
My goals are really small. They're very benign. Just to be present. For a long time, I would be home with my family or with friends, and my mind was always on the game. Training tomorrow. Who do we play tomorrow? I can't do this because I have to rest for a game in 2 days in LA. I can't do like now. I'm just trying to really be here with my family. I've really enjoyed the little moments, taking my kids to school, bringing them back. I coached my sons first grade basketball team this year. Our last game was on Sunday. All those little things that I didn't have the time to do, nor did I have the patience, to be honest, because I was always just ready to go and, pursue what I had to do with my career. So it's been nice to be able to be present and just be here with my family. And then, I try to golf a little bit more, which is not working out that well.
Well, and this you might have answered this, but how will you channel those competitive juices that helped you become the greatest women's basketball player in U.S. history?
Yeah, I still have them. I have them in other ways. And the fun part too is when you've been obsessed with the game for so long. I've been playing basketball since I was 5. Now I get to really explore different sectors of life and get to meet different people and different businesses and in different types of settings. And it's been really interesting to be able to be outside of that basketball bubble also to meet different people and different mindsets.
This is a two-part question. The first one: what advice would you give other young athletes?
I always tell young athletes, just stay present. Don't get caught up in thinking you have to follow a certain blueprint or a certain roadmap. Everyone has a different journey. It all comes in different shapes, sizes, and colors. If you love the game of basketball or if it's, an instrument, do it because you love it. Have fun with it. I think at this point, these young athletes are getting so serious and so focused at such an early age they forget to enjoy it. At the end of the day, it's a sport. You're supposed to have fun. And when you do that, you do become, the best that you can be.
If you could go back, and you said you started playing basketball 5 years old, if you could go back and give 5-year-old Diana
Oh,
a message, some advice, what would that message be?
wow, 5-year-old D. She knew everything already at 5, so I wouldn't give her that much. But probably my 18-year-old self, I'd tell her to get more sleep.
And how did you lose sleep? Did you lose sleep stressing, or did you lose sleep partying?
Oh, I mean, when you're 18, you're a freshman in college. You have a little bit of freedom. You get to really do things that maybe weren't available to you when were in high school. But I'm a firm believer that you are the product of all the decisions you make, good or bad. And I've had plenty of times to reflect on the last 20 years of my career, and every decision and every reaction and every emotion I had kind of led me to being in the WNBA and playing, for the national team for 20 years. I used everything as motivation, as a lesson to either replicate or never get back there again.
You're Argentine. The World Cup is coming up next year. I know growing up in Latino communities, everybody loves soccer, but
Mm,
and you're young, compared to me, you're young.
mm.
But I don't know if you can answer this question. Diego Maradona
Oof.
or Lionel Messi?
Um,
Who whose number 10 are you wearing with
I
the
know. That's always a question in Argentina. Obviously they both have World Cups. I think the beauty of Messi and Maradona is they're so alike in so many ways, but they're so different in all the ways that are so poignant. And I think that is why you fall in love with both of them. With Maradona, it's all the human tendencies, it's all the flaws in life that people come across. And sometimes you fail and sometimes you overcome them. And he did all those things in one career. And he was really the soul and the heart of the country for so long when he won that World Cup in '86. And what he did in Italy with Napoli and all those things. And I think Messi represents, the side that all Argentinians want to think they are, disciplined, and he goes about his day so focused, and it's been amazing to have both of them. It would be hard. I love them both. I guess I'll just have the number 9, like Bastituta. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. You're just gonna change it up. That's a
I'll take
total
I'll
goat.
take I'll take Batigol.
There you go. That's a total goat move. Just completely change it. Thank you for your time. One last thing. So, in the Latino Excellence podcast, we ask everybody to finish this sentence. Latinos should know that it is okay to. For instance, I always tell my kids, Latinos should know it's okay to embrace your greatness, because a lot of times our Latino culture is all about being humble. And
Mhm.
sometimes, especially Mexicans, you give them a compliment, oh, you're great. And Mexicans will lower their head, like, no, no, no. And I tell my kids since they were little, be great. One's at Yale, one's at Rice. And I tell them, be great. How would you make this sentence? Latinos should know it's okay to.
Use their voice. I think it's really impactful when Latinos and Latinas make sure that their voice is loud and heard. Because we are the backbone of this country in so many ways. I mean, growing up in Los Angeles, by the way, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Being here in Arizona, we know the Latin community they drive this country, these states, economically, socially. We have a big impact. And like you said, I think sometimes we shy away from that, and we just want to put our head down and work hard and kind of just mind our business. But we have to take control of our voice, and it's really important.
have I failed to ask you anything that you would like to address? And then we're done. So is there something
Yeah.
that you think, hey, everybody who's listening to Diana Taurasi should know this? What's your message, if
Yeah,
any? And
all
it
I
can
know is if you're struggling with eczema, go to showupad.com and you'll find all the information you need to make the best decision for yourself. And I highly recommend that. And I really appreciate being on.
Thank you very much. It's such an honor. I'm a huge fan of you and will always be. And except when Mexico plays Argentina, then we're going to have some problems.
Oh, we'll have beef. Okay, we'll make a bet. We'll make a bet.
Gracias, Diana. I really appreciate it.
Muchas gracias, mucho gusto.